Baby of the Bride is a very thought-provoking film. This was released in 1991. It's directed by Bill Bixby. It's written by Bart Baker with a cast including Rue McClanahan, Kristy McNichol and various others. And I've watched these out of order. I watched Mother of the Bride first, which is the third film, and now I'm watching Baby of the Bride, which is the middle film, and then there's Children of the Bride. It was not intentional. I was just going reverse chronologically through Rue McClanahan's films, didn't realise that the other film was actually the third, and I can confirm it doesn't matter. But I do recommend watching them in order for the character development. But judging this purely on its own, it's a really decent film. And there will probably be spoilers in this film for the previous film, by which I mean the first film, Children of the Bride, but there won't be any spoilers for the film that comes after this. And this one focuses on Margret. And Margret has recently married and she comes home and finds that she's actually pregnant. And she's 53. So needless to say, she was quite surprised by this. And there were some very well-written discussions between Margret and various healthcare professionals who are gently but very clearly explaining to her the risks of a pregnancy later in life, but they're not necessarily outright discouraging her from continuing with the pregnancy. And I think the conversations are really interesting, very, very well written, and there's a lot of compassion there. And of course the big question is, what will Margret do? And I won't give that away, of course, but it is very thought-provoking, and we do have some great dialogue. I think Margaret's response to everything felt very believable. The rest of the narrative, the other aspects, there are obviously a couple of other things happening here and there, I didn't really care for. I wasn't really interested in any other aspect of the story, and it does jump around quite a bit. It is a little bit messy, but I still in general found it to be a decent film, and the main narrative I did really thoroughly enjoy. The technical aspects are all generally very good. The camera work is good, the lighting is good, some good music, some really good costumes to give it a really nice colour palette in particular, and I did like it. Sure, it jumps around a bit too much, but other than that, and other than the fact that the subplots are maybe not the most interesting, I do think it's a decent experience. I am obviously watching these in reverse order, so it didn't necessarily have the element of surprise for me, of wondering what the outcome would be, but I definitely think there's a lot in that, and if you are watching them in order, I do think it will be an even more fascinating experience. So I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to watching the first film. Obviously, I'll have some indication of what's going to happen in that film, but as long as everything else is great, if it's still a decent narrative with great performances, as is the case here, I think it will be a solid experience, and I'm happy to recommend Baby of the Bride.